this year.
And for Western Carolina, it's graduate transfer from Valparaiso. It's Nicholas Robinson. He's been their go-to guy. They're Mr. Everything this year.
Yeah, we're talking about another impact transfer. The Catamounts' leading scorer, 14 points per game. Also the leading rebounder for Western Carolina at 7 rebounds per game. He's reached double digits 18 times this season, including 13 of the last 15 outings for the Catamounts.
Western Carolina will be without one of their key players. Talking about Vontarius Woolbright, has been suspended indefinitely for Western Carolina. He had 20 points against the Buccaneers earlier this year and had really stepped up in a role in trying to take over that point guard position for the Catamounts.
Yeah, you're going to have Cam Baycoat, a graduate senior, pick up the pace at point guard, or look for Marcus Banks also to spell a freshman at the point guard position tonight, but that's a big loss for this Catamount team. Woolbright has been playing some outstanding basketball lately for the Catamounts.
Inside look won't go. Rebound battled for. Catamounts will come away with it again. You got the two Brewer brothers, Ladarius and Ty Brewer. You've also got Jordan King and David Sloan, a couple of transfers in the lineup for ETSU on that starting 5. And rounding out the starting lineup tonight for ETSU is Jaden Seymour, the Charlotte native.
You see Western Carolina going early to the three-point line. They were a three-point threat in the SoCon early on. They were an outstanding three-point shooting team, but they haven't been doing so well beyond the arc lately, as now EastTennesseeState gets the scoring started with a long-range bomb.
And Ladarius Brewer knocks down the triple from the right wing as he gets the Buccaneers off to the 3-0 advantage. Catamounts, again, without Vontarius Woolbright, will have Marcus Banks and Cam Baycoat on the floor as the guards, with Robinson, Harris, and Joe Petrakis, the big man, 6'10", but likes to play more on the perimeter than he does down in that low block. Shot clock inside of 10 for Ty Harris on the wing. Back around to Baycoat. There's Marcus Banks, one of those go-to players that might have to step up for the Catamounts, and he can't connect. Buccaneers setting sail out and running, can't get the bucket in transition. And Western Carolina will get the rebound as David Sloan had that one just stick on the side of the rim as he tried to go up for an easy deuce.
Talked about how well the Catamounts have played here on their home floor most of the season, but they did have a lopsided loss against Samford here on Saturday, so still licking their wounds from that defeat here on their home floor. They're looking to come out tonight and get off to a good start here in Cullowhee.
Harris open in the corner looking to answer the Brewer 3. He cannot. And it is Ty Brewer up to King, who will launch another 3 from the left side. And the Buccaneers with triples from the left and the right. And they've got a 6-0 lead here in the early going.
And again, you're talking about the defending SoCon Player of the Week. You saw that range from the guard out of Albany, New York on that three-point connection. And now the Buccaneers off to this early 6-0 lead.
Robinson will bury the triple for Western Carolina. Catamounts trying to fight their way back here in the early going. First field goal for the Catamounts, and it comes from downtown. In Western Carolina now 1 for 4, and they've all come from downtown.
EastTennesseeState ran away and hid in that game up in Johnson City. They had a 19-point lead at the half, led by 24 at one point in the second half up at Freedom Hall in Johnson City. So Western Carolina's got to keep this game within reach here in the first half and into the second half to have a chance to win on their home floor.
Robinson against Sloan took a long look at it from the perimeter. Now with 20 on the shot clock, goes to work. First shot inside the three-point arc, and Robinson has all 5 of Western Carolina's points and a 6-5 Buccaneer lead.
Boy, he's so important to the Catamounts on both ends of the floor, but especially on the offensive end. Someone else will have to step up, maybe Tyler Harris or Joe Petrakis tonight to assist in that scoring load for the Catamounts.
King with a scoop to the hoop, gets it to roll in for 2. Jordan King with 5 early points to match what Robinson has done. Difference has been the Brewer 3 on their opening possession for ETSU.
Well, he transferred in, as we mentioned, from Siena. Big loss for that program, but what a gain for the Buccaneers program as Jordan King, one of the outstanding young players in the league this season.
Now reach-in foul. Robinson will be fouled at the 16:37 mark. Give us an opportunity to take a look at our Penske keys to the game. Need a truck? Call Penske. And we talked about it at ETSU. Wanting to get out and run. They've had a couple opportunities here in the early going, but set sail. Get those buckets in transition. And Western Carolina's got to find a way to get a good start and then sustain that for 40 minutes.
Well, the Buccaneers can really run and gun. They play that high-tempo game, and they can score a lot of points in a hurry. And for Western Carolina, we talked about getting off to the good start and maybe picking up that three-point pace, trying to find that confidence behind the arc again, but it's East Tennessee State who's hot behind the three early on. Daniel, that's their third three-pointer here in the first 4 minutes of the game.
Yeah, Ladarius Brewer knocks down another one and has a few choice words for the Catamount bench. He's feeling good tonight. When Ladarius and Ty Brewer, those two brothers, get going, and with David Sloan and with Jordan King, I think it's one of the best top four in the Southern Conference across the board. It makes this team very, very dangerous, talking about ETSU. Marcus Banks will try to get a three for the Catamounts, and he will, as the Catamounts hanging tight here. Right, just under 16 minutes to go before halftime.
And again, that three-point shot so important to the Catamount offense. I really believe that's why they've been on this slide, because that three-point shot has not been dropping over the last several games. It's led to this 5-game losing streak for the Catamounts. And if they can connect tonight, they're going to keep this one close here on their home floor.
Well, you talk about the three-point shot for Western Carolina in double digits in threes in 10 of their first 14 games. Offensive rebound, nearly coming away with it. Good battle underneath by Seymour, but Robinson comes out of the fray with it. But 10 of their first 14 games, Western Carolina was hitting double-digit threes as that three-point shot falls off the mark. Just one double-digit three-point shooting performance in its last 8 games. They've had 9 3 times during that stretch, but haven't been able to get that 10th or more in terms of production from beyond the arc.
Meanwhile, the Buccaneers with their 4th three-pointer here in the first half. Ladarius Brewer connecting for East Tennessee State, and now the Catamounts off the mark.
Darius Brewer outscoring Western Carolina on his own, and there's set sail right there. ETSU trying to get up and get out in transition and getting up the floor in a hurry, and they'll have the foul called on Western Carolina. We'll have some free throws on the other side of this media timeout. 14:43 to go. First half action. Buccaneers out to the 14-8 early lead over Western Carolina. 14:43 to go here in the opening half of play. Western Carolina and ETSU. This Blue Ridge border battle on the hardwood tonight. It's 14-8. Buccaneers out in front. Free throws coming. Jordan King, again, we talked about him, the reigning Southern Conference Player of the Week. All he did last week was average about 25 points a game. You talk about a guy that's been outstanding. Back-to-back 20-point performances on his way tonight already with 5 here in the early going. And he knocked down 7 threes as a part of that 27 points in that loss up on post in Lexington against VMI.
Yeah, what an addition. Adding him to the mix with Ty Brewer and Ladarius Brewer. And we've talked about this team maybe being the biggest underachievers so far in SoCon play this season, being in 7th place right now in the standings. And that's a bit of a surprise for a team that has this much talent. 4 players averaging in double digits in the starting lineup. So King good at the free throw line, and now the Buccaneers enjoying their biggest lead here in the opening half, up by 8. They've connected again on 4 of 5 beyond the three-point line, shooting 80% behind the arc here in the early going.
The squad, as Marvin Price turns it over, fresh into the ball game and out and running. Mohab Yasser all the way down off the rim, won't get it to go. And Madison Monroe, who was a catalyst for the Catamounts in that game up in Johnson City, with the rebound. Good hands on the deflection there for Ladarius Brewer. But you talk about this ETSU squad. They've lost some key components through the course of the year as well. So, again, trying to rediscover themselves, but it's definitely a team. When it comes March, you're not going to have an easy out with the Buccaneers. They've got experience, and they're very, very good. Now, an offensive foul is nice work there again as Marcus Banks gets back and draws the charge on Ty Brewer. But you can tell ETSU not going to shy away from getting up and down the floor.
And also these two teams have had some turnover at the head coaching position over the last several seasons. East Tennessee State now with their 3rd head coach in the last 3 seasons. Western Carolina going from Larry Hunter to Mark Prosser, now to Justin Gray. All of that happening over the last 5 seasons. So trying to just get some stability in both programs here and get things settled down.
Again, Marvin Price, fresh into the ball game, immediately going towards the rim on his second drive. This time he'll draw the foul. Price only had 2 points and 2 rebounds up in Johnson City for a guy that is averaging over 5 points per game in conference play. One of those key bench players has stepped up 7 times this year, has been in double figures, has got the ability. 61% at the free throw line, gets the first one to fall as the Catamounts pull back to within 7. 16-9 here in the early going, 13:46 to play. Price back iron, no good. Rebound picked up by the Buccaneers.
Matt Nunez out on the floor, freshman center out of Newport News, Virginia, bringing some height down in the post for the Buccaneers.
Yeah, 6'10 freshman, good ball screen out front. Got a mismatch now as they've got Madison Monroe on him, but it's going to be Jordan King. Scoop to the hoop for a deuce. Nicely done as he goes right down the midline, and Jordan King knocking on the doors of double figures already. Robinson on the wing, yet to touch the ball this possession for the Catamounts, one of their top scorers. Now comes high to get it.
Catamounts off to a 30% shooting mark, shooting 3 of 10 from the floor.
Banks can't find the range, but Price with the offensive rebound. It's a squad for Western Carolina that really rebounds well as Nunez with the block. Shot clock down to 13. Robinson, little step through. Might have got away with the travel. Long, lanky legs, the Valparaiso transfer. They'll have 7 of the Catamounts' first 11 points, with King and Ladarius Brewer both with 9, all 18 points between two Buccaneers right now. Top of the key, 3 on the way. That one's good. Talking about a guy that stepped in the gym and is feeling it tonight. Ladarius Brewer already with a dozen.
Yeah, now the lead up to double digits for the first time tonight for the Buccaneers. Western Carolina trying to keep the Buccaneers in check here. Let's see if they can answer with this 3, but that one off the mark by Price.
Gets his own rebound and thought about taking it again, but this time a little shifty feet. Turns it over on the traveling violation, and the Catamounts will go back to the bench with Joe Petrakis and Cam Baycoat back in. Also, we'll see Marlo Gilmore for the first time tonight. And just trying to find an answer here. It's very methodical. It's not been a giant run for the Buccaneers, but knocking down triples. You talk about 7 made field goals, 5 of them being from distance right now.
Yeah, they're shooting 58%, but inside that number, 83% from behind the 3.
That one left short by Sloan, and Catamounts come the other way. Catamounts have numbers. Petrakis, right corner, 3 on the way, is off the mark. Gilmore tried to get the deflection. Ball rolls around. Buccaneers. Scrappy play, get on it. Fast break outlet. King. Jump shot just won't fall, and a good rebound by Monroe. Robinson, step back now to Baycoat. Make the extra pass. Baycoat buries the triple. Good offensive flow that time by Western Carolina. We've seen it out of ETSU multiple times. Catamounts probably their best offensive possession in terms of ball movement and movement away from the basketball.
Yeah, the juices were flowing on that offensive possession, and a good finish for the Catamounts and an important 3 to turn the lead back down to 7 now, as Western Carolina will try to get a defensive stop and claw back closer.
High ball screen, nearly a moving pick. Opens the lane for King. He dishes it off. Yasser can't get it to fall. Western Carolina back the other way. Robinson in transition, knocks down the 3. And if this squad can get going from beyond the arc, like we've seen with ETSU, can find points in a hurry.
That's what I love about Robinson's versatility. A couple of times he was able to cut down the lane, little floaters for baskets, and that time he bombs from long range, and he leads the Catamounts now in scoring. Robinson connecting on 10 points here. He's already in double digits, but another answer here from long range for ETSU.
And Mohab Yasser, the guard from the right wing, knocks down the triple to answer the one at the other end. Halfway through this opening 20 minutes of play. Robinson back to Petrakis, trying to get him going from the top of the key. Friendly rim will not roll in for him. Monroe boards the miss. King out to Sloan. Sloan, little Euro step. Can't get it to go. Nifty move, but just couldn't get it to finish. Baycoat in transition, does not have numbers. Back to Petrakis. We'll try it again. Top of the key won't go. Joe Petrakis does not want to see ETSU. He was 0 for 5 from beyond the arc in Johnson City. And Joe has struggled 0 for his first 3 to start the game tonight. How about Yasser? underneath. Can't get the bunny to go. Johnny on the spot with the offensive rebound. Just couldn't get it to fall. Monroe drives in all the way to the 10 and lays it in.
Good response here by the Catamounts after the lead had grown to 10 for the Buccaneers. Western Carolina's trimmed that lead down in half, now only down by 5, and it's been some solid defense here for Western Carolina that's allowed them to pull back in this game.
Buccaneers shooting is cooled below 50% now at, 42%. But still red hot, 6 of 7 from beyond the arc, and now a foul on the basketball going to be called on Madison Monroe, and that'll take us to our under 12 media timeout. 8:43 to go. Good one brewing here in Cullowhee. ETSU out in front. 20 Southern Conference for several years now after about a 10-year hiatus, but again, always good to see ETSU, especially with this close proximity to, again, a lot of the schools in this league. You talk about Wofford, Furman, Western Carolina, all a hop, skip, and a jump away. And I know Chattanooga like to have ETSU back, that Tennessee rivalry that they have.
Yeah, these two teams started playing back in the 1930s. First meeting in 1933-34. 89th all-time meeting here tonight between ETSU and Western Carolina. ETSU has dominated the series. They've won 14 straight, 31 of the last 32, Daniel, and off to a good start here in Cullowhee tonight.
Yasser misfires from the left wing, and a 5-point lead here. Again, shooting percentage now at about 40% for the Buccaneers. Joe Petrakis looking to get going for the Catamounts. A big 6'10 post that'll play beyond the perimeter more than you'll see him in the low block. Coaches have challenged the big guy as Gilmore gets open underneath him. Talk about a guy who's coming off a couple of big games for Western Carolina. Had double digits for the first time in his career in a road loss, a heartbreaking road loss for this Catamount squad down at the Citadel. 14 points on 7 of 7 shooting in that game. A lot of them were point-blank range like that one was.
Yeah, he's kind of a secret weapon. He scored 8 points in 12 minutes in that loss, so he can really score in a flurry. And now Western Carolina quietly, Daniel, making a move here on the Buccaneers, down by 3, a chance to tie on this possession.
And that'll get us to the under 8 media timeout before the Catamounts will have that possession. 24-21, Western Carolina. Western Carolina back within 3, 24-21. And Jeff alluded to a moment ago, ETSU in this 89th all-time meeting with the Buccaneers. 63 wins over 25 losses, and you said it, 14 straight wins for the Buccaneers over Western Carolina.
Catamounts got a win in the 2015 SoCon tournament, an overtime victory. Outside of that win, it's been a long drought against the Buccaneers. Nice move here by Nicholas Robinson. Catamounts suddenly only down by 1.
A dozen points now for Robinson. 45 of these meetings all time have been decided by 9 points or fewer. ETSU's won 28 of those 45. First meeting was not. It was all Buccaneers as they got happy offensively. And how about that offensive rebound and put back by Ty Brewer. His first bucket, and just the second bucket by someone other than Ladarius Brewer or Jordan King. Robinson, a little heat check. That one won't go. Tyler Harris able to keep it alive long enough to get it to Baycoat, but Baycoat runs out of real estate on the far sideline. So you think for Western Carolina on Groundhog Day, it's kind of been like Groundhog Day playing against ETSU. You talk about 14 straight losses, and again, they had the one win there in the tournament. You thought maybe they were over the hump. They got what was a 17-game slide done. So lost 17, won 1, which it was a big one, an overtime win in a conference tournament that knocked ETSU from contention. But then 14,
back into the hole.
Yeah, right back to it. Talking about Groundhog Day, Jordan King goes again, knocking down a 3. He's got a dozen to match Ladarius Brewer. 7 made 3-pointers here in the early going for ETSU.
It's a quick 5-0 run here by the Buccaneers to build that lead back up to 6.
Tyler Harris looking for some room.
So what was the outcome today with Puxatawny Phil? Did he see a shadow or not?
I think it's 6 more weeks of winter.
Great.
Which I think if you add it up, there's 6 more weeks of winter whether or not he sees a shadow.
Maybe if you'd wear sunglasses, that would help.
Yeah, defensive board by Banks. Harris, corner 3. That one off the side of the rim. Tough angle shot. Those are among the toughest in basketball because you don't have any backboard to shoot at. And again, the Catamounts were within one basket, but back-to-back threes by Jordan King have taken care of that. 32-23. Talk about spurtability for ETSU.
Talk about bringing your A game
right
to the Ramsey Center tonight. Jordan King is making a case for possibly another SoCon Player of the Week award.
Now getting off to a good start. Again, looking for his third consecutive 20-point game. Baycoat, little scoop to the hoop all the way down the right side. Down the rail, puts it in for two.
And Baycoat assuming the starting point guard position tonight. Vontarius Woolbright suspended indefinitely by the Catamounts. So someone having to pick up that load, and so far so good for Baycoat.
King left alone, and you got to have a guy in his hip pocket all the way across the floor, and he just knocks down another three-pointer. And you talk about it now, ETSU, 9 made triples already for ETSU.
Yeah, he burnt VMI for 27 in that loss on Saturday. He follows that up with 18 so far here in the first half. In Cullowhee, he's just been unconscious dating back to that game against the Keydets on Saturday afternoon.
He's averaged 22 points a game and almost 5 three-pointers over his last 3 outings. Talking about Jordan King, the Albany, New York, Siena transfer. Steal, but if you get one, it's a little cherry on top. They almost got one, did ETSU. Robinson doing his best to keep Western Carolina going. He's got 15 here in the first half.
Making his coach look good after the timeout. Whatever Justin Gray said to his team, Nicholas Robinson was at full attention during that timeout as he comes out and buries a 3 after the TO.
Sloan will knock down the triple as he got a little step back. Made some space, pushed Baycoat away, and then was able to knock down the 3 from the right wing. 10 made three-pointers. I think ETSU might petition to have the Ramsey Center become home of the conference tournament because they are shooting lights out so far. Right corner, Banks. That one halfway home, won't stay down.
Catamounts are just hoping that the halftime break will cool off this three-point shooting barrage by the Buccaneers. But right now, ETSU will have a chance to expand this double-digit lead after the Catamount turnover.
Team averages just over 9 made triples per game. Well, they've got 10 here in the first half alone. 1,084 consecutive games that a Buccaneer basketball team has made a three-pointer.
You're talking about a team in ETSU that does not play well this season on the road, but tonight, again, another three-pointer. The Buccaneers 2-7 on the road this season, but if they shoot like this for the remainder of the regular season, Daniel, they're going to move up the ladder in the SoCon pretty quickly. That is just unbelievable three-point shooting here being displayed by ETSU.
Price puts it on the floor, tries to go by Sloan, instead kicks it to Banks, who'll try to answer with a 3. And we've seen 6 made three-pointers for Western Carolina, which it would be a good night if the other squad wasn't knocking down 11 in the first half. 33 of their 41 points have come from distance.
Yeah, the Buccaneers did it just the opposite when they played in Johnson City. They dominated the paint up in Freedom Hall, but tonight they're doing it from beyond the 3.
Baycoat will be called for the foul on the hand check. And you talk about scoring in the paint. 48-28. ETSU outscored Western Carolina in the 3-second area, but tonight it's been a perimeter-oriented game. 11 made three-pointers, 79% shooting from beyond. Western Carolina had closed to within 1 point, but Jordan King with 18 points widened the gap, and it's back to 10. Yeah, right, 3 minutes to go before halftime. Nicholas Robinson with 15 points to lead Western Carolina, and both these teams trying to halt slides. ETSU has dropped 3. Catamounts have lost 5 in a row. So something's got to give here tonight.
I know you like trivia, so how about this trivia note
here
about
we
ETSU?
Go.
They've made at least 1 three-pointer in 1,083 consecutive games. That is the 4th longest streak in the nation. You know, the last year they had a game where they did not make a three-pointer. I'll give you one guess.
You give me one guess. Let's see. Adding up the number of games, over 1,000. I'm going to guess probably 1987.
I think somebody might have looked at the game notes beforehand. But, yeah, 1987, a game against Davidson. That was the last time the 1,083 consecutive games with a made three-pointer. An incredible run of three-point shooting by the Buccaneers.
2.5 to go. Lead is still 10. Price finds Banks trying to get going. Left wing shot won't go, but Price with the offensive rebound. Catamounts, one of the top rebounding teams in the conference. As Robinson continues his hot streak, he'll match Jordan King now with 18 points. He knocks down another three. He's got 4 made triples tonight.
And again, it looked like ETSU on their way to maybe making a big run before halftime, but Catamounts again with an answer, and they pull back within 7. Let's see if the Catamount defense can come up with a stop. Not with Jordan King shooting the way he is tonight, Daniel. Again, from long range, Jordan King continues to blow up the nets here. Give him now an incredible 21 points in the first half.
So King stays red hot, averaging over 22 points his last 3 games, and this will be a foul on the floor. Before Madison Monroe got going, and 21 points on 7 of 8 shooting, 5 of 5 from distance. That's pretty good average, 21 points in 16 minutes of playing time.
Catamounts with a good inbounds play and a three-point shot. Going to be off the mark here by Marcus Banks. Again, Banks playing tonight, getting some extra minutes with the absence of Woolbright at the point guard position. And again, a three-point attempt there by King is going to be off the mark. Follow shot, Daniel, also off the mark by Ty Brewer. An empty possession here for the Buccaneers when they had a chance to build this lead to 12 or 13 points.
Catamounts have got to find a way to take advantage, but won't do so there. And King out and running. And here's that transition game. Slams it home. Ty Brewer out and running. And we talked about the Buccaneers wanting to set sail. Well, they've launched the three-point arc here in the first half, but getting going now. That one in transition.
Yeah, that one with authority to extend this lead. Largest lead has been 13. The Buccaneers right on the cusp of that here. See if the Catamounts can score here to make it closer as we near halftime. Good defensive pressure here by the Buccaneers, and they're going to force a turnover. It's going to be the 3rd turnover. Both teams doing a very good job with ball protection in the opening half. Catamounts 3 giveaways, only 2 for East Tennessee State.
Joe Petrakis back in as Marvin Price checks out here. 33 seconds, and Buccaneers will try to milk most of that down to get the final possession here. And up 46-34 here in this first half. It's been 3 highly contested games that his squad has not been able to come out on top, but in trying to climb back above that 6th place plateau, which is where you want to be looking at conference tournament.
You're right, and they're in the middle of a 3-game road swing. Talked about the game Saturday up in Lexington against VMI, here tonight in Cullowhee, and another tough one awaiting on Saturday that'll be down in Wofford in a nationally televised game. So the Buccaneers on a tough road right now, but playing well here for one half in Cullowhee so far.
We'll try to take some air out of the basketball here over the final minute. Final 30 seconds of the first half. Dribble weave handoff. Sloan looking for King. Sloan with 5 on the shot clock will take it himself. Down the right side, throws it up, can't get it to go, but he'll draw a foul. We'll have free throws coming. It'll be just the 5th and 6th free throw of the first half. Buccaneers are 2 for 2 from the line. Catamounts 1 of 2 at the stripe.
So David Sloan may have to hire a PR firm with Jordan King, Ty Brewer, and Ladarius Brewer getting all the pub, if you will. But David Sloan, 13 points per game. Don't forget about his contributions to this Buccaneers squad, as that floater just barely missed going in and giving him a chance for an old-fashioned three-point play. Instead, at the line shooting 2, and he's good on the first attempt, and the Buccaneers lead, matching their largest of the first half now at 13.
76% on the year, and he got 1 of 2. Robinson here with 2 with 1 will launch a long three-pointer at the buzzer, trying to make it home. and it will not fall for Western Carolina, and it's a 47-34 edge here at halftime. ETSU, Jeff, 3-point shooting, 12 of their
head drop. They've trailed throughout this game. They've never led since the get-go, but they closed within one about midway through the first half before the Buccaneers went on a big run to build the lead back up to double digits. But again, the Catamounts' confidence has to be strong coming out of the halftime locker room to have a chance to rally tonight.
Talking about a guy with confidence, you saw Jordan King, third consecutive 20-point game for ETSU. This has been the Harris Cherokee Casino Resort halftime report. Second half underway here as Western Carolina in the home white, Buccaneers in the road blue. Joe Petrakis, left side, he likes that spot, and he'll drop into three to bring the Catamounts back to within 10 points.
Yeah, that's one way you can build confidence is hit shots, especially behind the three-point line. And Joe Petrakis is a streaky three-point shooter, so let's see if that gets him going here after halftime.
His first made field goal in 2 games against the Buccaneers. Again, he was 0 for 6 from the floor, 0 for 5 from downtown. Brewer looking to score down low, can't get it to go, but Petrakis boards the miss. But Joe Petrakis with that three-pointer to start the second half. His first points of the night and first points against the Buccaneers as Robinson will give the Catamounts 5 straight points out of the halftime locker room.
Yeah, just what the doctor ordered for Western Carolina. We talked about confidence and two baskets here on their first 2 offensive sets. And Western Carolina has that lead all of a sudden down to 8 points.
I think what's going to be bigger here is to see Jordan King's first touch, what the Catamounts do with him as Brewer underneath can't get it to go, but Johnny on the spot, offensive rebound, stick back good by Ty Harris. Or by Ty Brewer, rather. 10-point lead.
Brewer brothers arriving to ETSU out of Meridian, Mississippi, both transferring in from different first-year schools, but just have been outstanding performers for ETSU since they arrived in Johnson City, and again, playing well tonight.
Petrakis says that one partially blocked. Shot clock down to 7. Now to 5. Robinson goes to work. Step back jump shot just inside the arc. That one doesn't graze the iron. Marcus Banks tried a putback. I'm not even sure if he got it off before the shot clock expired. Sloan in transition, in trouble. Well, if you're in trouble, just find one of the Brewer brothers. That one won't fall, though, on a good-looking shot from the wing by Ladarius Brewer. Robinson in transition, didn't have a good handle on it. Baycoat for 3. That one rattles home good.
Well, we talked about at halftime, Daniel, what would Western Carolina do adjustment-wise to slow down ETSU from beyond the three-point line in the second half? Lots of times, just halftime itself can be an equalizer. It kind of resets offenses. You can have a team shooting lights out from behind the three. They go to the halftime locker room, and whatever mojo they had sometimes does not come back out after halftime. We'll see if that's the case for ETSU. They look like a different team shooting the ball here to open up the second half.
A big thing right now, Jordan King, I don't think has had very many touches, is now Petrakis. Talk about the streaky three-point shooter. Can't find the range there. Now King's got it in his hands. Baycoat will draw the challenge of trying to slow him down. Catamounts switching off on every ball screen out in front. Now Tyler Harris on King. King to Seymour, back to King. He'll try to drive all the way down, little scoop to the hoop. And Jordan King stays hot. He's got 23 points.
Yeah, this young man has impressed me just beyond words tonight. He is the real deal, and he is putting up the points on the board for the Buccaneers tonight as they expand their lead back to 9.
Tyler Harris, good defense cut off there. And now a steal out in front. Ty Brewer all the way down. Tried a little fancy dance slam dunk and able to slam it home in transition.
Well, it was so quick I wasn't sure it went in, but just an outstanding fast break conversion by the Buccaneers. And they can score in a hurry. We talked about their running gun ability.
Joe Petrakis for 3 from the top of the key. So Petrakis trying to get going now for Western Carolina 4 minutes into this second half. Catamount. First half alone with 12. David Sloan, look at that first step. Such a slick move as he splits the defense and is able to go right to the rim.
Yeah, I think if you look in the dictionary for blow-by, you'll see that video.
Robinson tried to keep it alive, but Seymour ends up with it. Here's Sloan again. The alley-oop to Seymour. The layup rolls in good. And right now, out and setting sail. That was one of our keys to the game for ETSU. They didn't have to do it much in the first half, but getting some transitional buckets, turning giveaways, turning easy missed shots into points the other way. The lead back to a dozen for ETSU as they can. 15:25 to go here, second half action. Buccaneers with a 12-point advantage, 57-45 over Western Carolina. And the Catamounts, again, defensively have got to find a way. And ETSU now taking advantage of what they're given. They're giving some turnovers, giving some easy buckets off of missed shots in transition. And now they'll go with a little 1-2-2 full court press to try to disrupt this Catamount offensive flow a little bit more.
Yeah, Western Carolina came out guns a-blazing on their first two offensive sets. Able to score, but ETSU has come back to life, so we're right back where we were at halftime. Catamounts have trimmed 1 point off that halftime deficit. Let's see if they can come back to life here now after this timeout.
Shot clock down to 4. Baycoat will have to launch another 3. That one rattles halfway home, pops back out. Catamounts battling for the rebound. Madison Monroe takes it away. Good work there by Madison Monroe, who, again, was one of the bright spots for that Catamount squad up in Johnson City. Talked with his coaching staff. They really were impressed with his hustle, effort, and intensity. Marcus Banks getting going as he knocks down a 3.
Yeah, you're talking about an outstanding freshman, true candidate for the all-freshman team here for Western Carolina. Marcus Banks, some good minutes off the bench for Coach Justin Gray this season.
Yeah, 9 points now, 3 3-pointers in the ball game. Jordan King back to work. Cam Baycoat trying to stay with him. Banks drawing the tough task of staying with David Sloan. Little pullback. Jump shot's good right at the free throw line. David Sloan, he's come alive here in the second half. He's in double figures now with 11.
I tell you, he's easy to forget with all the talent on this team, but you can't overlook David Sloan. He's been a heck of a player throughout his career for the Buccaneers. Now a graduate player, averaging 13 per game, and he's had some big buckets over the last several minutes of the contest for ETSU. All of a sudden, the Buccaneers up by 11.
Timeout taken here on the floor. We will take it with them at the 13:56 mark. Justin Gray looking for answers in his first year here in Cullowhee. He trails the Buccaneers 59-48 right now. The lead for ETSU over Western Carolina. 13:56 to go here. Daniel Hooker, Jeff Bryson, our entire ESPN crew. Buccaneers with a basketball. And a double-digit lead here. Catamounts trying to find a way to claw back in at 20 points for Nicholas Robinson to lead the way. Only Catamount in double figures. Jordan King had 21 of those in the first half. Mohab Yasser looking to get going. 3-point shots good from the left corner.
Yeah, now 13 of 19 behind the three-point line are the Buccaneers, shooting a scorching 68% behind the three. Overall, over 50% for the game. And the Buccaneers continue to build their lead back up. Now their largest of the game at 14 points.
Robinson can't connect. Rebound deflected by Baycoat. Monroe comes out with it. Catamounts with a fresh 20-second reset. Baycoat on King, trying to get something to go. Can't get it to fall, but it'll draw contact. And Cam Baycoat should be headed to the free throw line. Haven't talked much about the charity stripe tonight. Catamounts just 1 of 2, Buccaneers 3 of 4. So, and free throws have not been very charitable tonight in terms of the whistles. First foul of the second half, 7 minutes in. That's kind of the game it's been, letting them play here on a Wednesday night.
Baycoat, a 70% free throw shooter for the season. Big free throws here as he tries to trim down this Buccaneers lead. Good on the first. Nice crowd here at the Ramsey Center on this middle week game. Catamounts will have a road game coming up Friday on the road at VMI, a rare Friday night SoCon game.
Has some stuff going on with the VMI freshmen. So they moved the game, asked if they could move the game from the normal Saturday to a Friday. So a short turnaround to get ready for that one. Of course, the long road trip, but of course, Buccaneers will get ready for Wofford after this. They got a nationally televised CBS Sports Network game coming up. 12-point lead for the Buccaneers. Jordan King with 23 points. Third consecutive game in in 20 points. That time, Ladarius Brewer got caught underneath the basket in no man's land. Ultimately turns it over. Robinson to the midline. He's in trouble. Finds Gilmore, who powers up. Can't get it to go, but Marlo Gilmore has raised his shooting percentage about 35 percentage points over the last week and a half after a strong shooting performance. And we mentioned 7 of 7 for 14 points at the Citadel. Had a strong performance, only missed one shot against Sanford.
Yeah, if you're a big man, if you can have that in your arsenal, the ability to hit the free throw, even if you bank in the free throw, you can be such a much more dangerous type post player.
The one area he has struggled is 42% from the free throw line, and got 1 of 2. Banked the first one home. It counts the same as if it touches nothing but nylon. Catamounts unable to get this thing back down to 10. We'll have to try to get it stopped on defense. Petrakis with a deflection working against Brewer. That's a mismatch if Brewer can use the blow-by on the big fella. Tries to, and will get to the rim, taking advantage of the mismatch with the 6'10 Petrakis on him.
And it seems to stay at a 13-point deficit throughout for Western Carolina. Again, they closed within 1 at 25-24 midway through the first half, but since that point, it's been basically a double-digit lead throughout for the Buccaneers. And an answer here by the freshman Marcus Banks.
Back to within 10. Banks will join Robinson and Baycoat now in double figures. He's got 12. Baycoat's got 10. Robinson has a team-high 20 for Western Carolina. That'll match the 3 Buccaneers in double figures, with King scoring 23, 14 for Ladarius Brewer, 11 for David Sloan. King gets it back, shot clock down to 10. He's been more of a distributor here in this second half. He's got the mismatch with Petrakis. Pull up 3. That one rattles out, no good. A couple of Buccaneers battling for the loose ball, and now a foul going to be called. Foul's going to be called on Marcus Banks. And now Justin Gray standing at midcourt to try to get an explanation, but timeout on the floor, and we will take it with him as he'll try to get an answer. We will head to break. Buccaneers out in front by 10, 64-54, 11 and a half to go here. And free throws when we come back to live action for ETSU after a foul on a rebound. And we've not talked much about the free throw line. 6 free throw attempts for the Catamounts. They'll get 2 to give 6 for ETSU on this exchange.
Buccaneers continue to scorch the nets tonight, Daniel. 51% from the floor. This is only their 5th free throw attempt of the game, though. Now 3 of 5 is missing on the first attempt is Matt Nunez, the freshman center out of Newport News, Virginia.
Yeah, just his 3rd and now 4th free throw attempt of the year, and he missed them both. And the Catamounts will grab the rebound. Robinson looking for a drive to the basket. He's going to be fouled on the penetration from the right wing. 11:15 to go here. Catamounts trying to find a way to get this thing back to single digits. It's not been there in quite some time here. 3rd foul on ETSU. 20-second shot clock reset. Robinson goes to work. Fall away. Scoop shot won't go. Put back by Monroe. Will. Madison Monroe. Again, he doesn't do a whole lot that lights up a stat sheet. He's got 4 points, 4 rebounds tonight. But a big one there to pull the Catamounts back to within 8.
Yeah, let's see if the Catamount defense can rally off that stick back. Western Carolina's tried multiple occasions to get the lead chipped away, but ETSU seemingly always with the answer.
A mismatch here with Gilmore out on Sloan. Long 3 on the way. Won't fall. Robinson with the rebound. Sloan probably should have looked to take Gilmore on the drive. Monroe looking for more. Drives it down off the basket, but going to be called an offensive foul. Heads up play underneath by Nunez, and that'll give the foul to Madison Monroe on what could have been a huge play for Western Carolina.
Yeah, great offensive play that turns out to be a charge, but a great defensive play by Nunez for the Buccaneers. And, man, that could have got the lead down to 6 for ETSU. That's a tough break for Western Carolina, but again, an outstanding defensive play by the Buccaneers.
And the freshman steps up, takes the charge, had his feet planted just beyond that protected semicircle. King back to work. He's got 23 points. Has been quiet here in the second half. Seymour drives in, has it taken away by the freshman Banks. Banks up the floor, will pull back. 3-point shot, right wing, a little heat check. Feeling good, trying to get the crowd going. Brewer from the right wing. That one won't fall. Gilmore tips the rebound, but Seymour gets it. And now Monroe reaches in, and he'll grab the basketball and have a jump ball to ensue, and a little fisticuffs, little extracurriculars. After the jump ball, ball will stay with ETSU on the alternating possession. That's probably 2 shots, one by Ty Brewer here on the near sideline, and one by Marcus Banks, somewhat in transition for Western Carolina, that could possibly be considered ill-advised, just from not really in the flow of how things were going offensively.
Yeah, with an 8-point game right now, it's going to come down to composure for both teams, who can keep that composure over the final minutes of the game. And here's an outstanding post play inside here by Yassir to build the lead back up to double digits for the Buccaneers.
Yeah, great job by Seymour. Drew a double team on the right low block. It left someone free, and that free person was Mohab Yassir. Streaking in from the left perimeter. Cam Baycoat gets a drive step. Can't get it to roll in. Wanted the 3-point play. But I'll have a chance to get it back to within 8 from the free throw line here at the 9:16 mark.
Baycoat, again, 70% on the season.
Now we had just 1 foul through the first 7 minutes of the second half, and now we've had, 5 over the last 3+ minutes. Baycoat's first free throw will not fall, and Cam Baycoat right at 71-72% from the line this year.
Tough to leave these points at the stripe. Trying to rally here are the Catamounts. After trailing for all the game, they've never led from the get-go, and now the second free throw good by Baycoat.
Heading toward the 9-minute mark, 66-57, ETSU with the lead and the basketball. Marcus Banks trying to get a deflection out in front. Very patient dribble weave handoffs. Seymour working hard down low, trying to get him the ball. They've got Madison Monroe matched up on him. Ladarius Brewer lost the handle, and now will lose it out of bounds. Brewer lost the handle on the drive. Ends up turning it over. And was bobbling it. Otherwise could have been called for the travel, but didn't have clean possession of it. Catamounts now with 8:46. Will already let the ball roll to the half court before they pick it up. Understanding that time's coming up here.
And another one of these possessions where the Catamounts can try to trim down the lead. They've had difficulty doing that, taking advantage, and again, shot off the mark here off the attempt by Robinson.
Having to spend so much effort to try to fight back, and now a foul away from the basketball as Ty Brewer got tangled up with Cam Baycoat. And Baycoat will pick up the foul. That'll be his third personal. Just the third foul on Western Carolina here in the second half, only 4 against the Buccaneers.
Well, you talk about it, trying to climb that hill. Obviously, physically, it's a struggle, but it's got to be mentally tough, too, when you have opportunity after opportunity to try to trim down the lead, the door being left open, and you're unable to do so. But, again, the Buccaneers here are going to give the ball back to the Catamounts and keep that door ajar for a possible rally.
Yeah, Marcus Banks does a nice job of drawing the offensive foul, and just a little bit of a shoulder dip by Brewer. Again, in the new age of what is called a block and what is called a charge. There it is. On this end is the other way. Jordan King does it right back. Giving up the body. And now Cam Baycoat will pick up, I believe, his 4th personal. And that's big because, again, without Vontarius Woolbright tonight, Baycoat's been one of the guys handling the ball more. So now you look on the floor and you've got Robinson and Banks, your 2 leading candidates for point guard position. (57-66) Buccaneers. 66-57, reverse that. David Sloan gets right down the midline, roll off the fingertip, good. just when they need a bucket, go to that dribble drive penetration. Talk about a game that was played on the perimeter in the first half. Buccaneers now 24-10. They're outscoring Western Carolina in the paint now.
13 now for David Sloan. He's really come to life offensively after halftime.
Robinson goes to work. Free throw line. Shot up. Good. Tough shot by Nicholas Robinson, who's got 22 to lead the Catamounts.
It will be interesting to see if the Catamounts can keep it at double or at single digits at the under 8 media timeout as that approaches here. If they can, obviously give them more life and try to set up some strategy to rally further here in the waning minutes of the second half.
David Sloan again. That one blocked from behind by Tyler Harris. A little bit longer of a defender on him and Tyler Harris. Harris at the other end will try to get it to Monroe. Ball deflected. Good hands in the passing lanes by Ladarius Brewer. And with 7 minutes to go, Western Carolina trying to fight their way back. Buccaneers trying to hang on to the advantage. It is 68-59 right now. Buccaneers. Head down the stretch here with 7 minutes to go. 68-59. Buccaneers out in front of Western Carolina. Jordan King, 21 of his 23 points in the first half for ETSU. Nick Robinson with 22 points. Now for the Catamounts, the two leading scorers. Both squads with 3 players in double figures. 14 for Ladarius Brewer. Sloan has 13 for the Bucks. Marcus Banks with a dozen and Cam Baycoat with 11, but Baycoat has 4 personal fouls. Marvin Price back in for him. Nicholas Robinson will take that one right to the rim.
Yeah, Robinson becomes the leading scorer in the game now, surpassing King by a point. And that was an important possession for Western Carolina. They're as close as they've been here in the second half now, only down by 7.
Closing in on a career high of 28 is Robinson. He has 24 now. Jordan King gets a 3. How about a 4-point play? Jordan King has not looked to shoot all that often here in the second half, but knocks down the triple, has a chance for 4 straight points. And Western Carolina sees the lead for the Buccaneers grow back to 10, maybe back to 11 here. How about Jordan King?
Yeah, that's hard to defend. And even when you try to defend with the aggressive defense, you pick up the foul, and he still drops it in the bottom of the net. And the 4-point play completed, and the Buccaneers, just like that, back up by 11.
It does so much just to take the air out of the building, and it seizes all momentum back to blue and gold. 6.5 to go. What a show we've seen between Robinson and King. Robinson, left side 3 on the way, misses everything. Buccaneers looking to run. King in transition. Wisely, even though he's got the hot hand, wisely pulls it up, understands time and score, wants to run a little clock here. Get this thing under 6 minutes to go.
King had 27 Saturday at VMI, 27 tonight here in Cullowhee.
And matches his career best. Marcus Banks on him. The double team comes as they switch off to Tyler Harris with 2 with 1. Launches a 3, and a foul going to be called on Tyler Harris. Harris defending all the way through. Picks up just his first foul, 6th on the Catamounts, but more importantly, a off-balance fall-away 3 with the shot clock expiring. Little chance that had of going in, but King will have a chance for 3 free throws to stretch this lead back out.
Yeah, and it's a little early to say that certain free throws or certain made baskets are dagger shots, but when you look back at the end of this game, you got to wonder if you remember that 4-point play and then conversely this 3-point opportunity at the free throw line.
I think they're going to say that looked like Charlie Weber was going to be called for an infraction, so take away the 3 free throws. Now I think it's only going to be 2. King gets the first one to fall. And now a technical foul is going to be called on somebody.
Yeah, it's been getting a little salty out on the floor here in the second half, and you had to figure at some point the officials were going to say enough is enough. We saw a verbal exchange between the players earlier in the second half, and now the officials just trying to get control of the situation here before anything erupts.
Well, double technical is the call on Jordan King and on Marvin Price. So that'll be now the 7th foul on Western Carolina, 7th team foul. 6 team fouls now on the Buccaneers. One more free throw coming as Price was leaving the floor and King was the one at the free throw line. Again, was going to get 3 free throws, fouled on a three-pointer, but a lane violation for Charlie Weber knocks it down to just 2. He gets them both. Lead is still 74-61. Baycoat back in with the 4 personal fouls for Western Carolina. Marcus Banks, who has 12 points, back to Baycoat, who has 11. Over to Robinson, working against Brewer. Baycoat, left side, 3 on the way. That one's good for Western Carolina. Back within 10, 74-64 with 5 minutes to go. Defense paramount for Western Carolina, just offensive execution for the Buccaneers here.
Yeah, for Western Carolina, trying to get that defensive stop without fouling. That's been difficult for Western Carolina here in the second half.
Off the high ball screen, heat check shot by King will not go. Good shot in the rhythm of the offense, but would not fall. Robinson out of the flow of the Western Carolina offense, and he gets it to fall. He's got 27 now. 2 shy of King, who has a new career high tonight with 29.
Yeah, this has kind of been the top of the mountain, though, for Western Carolina. They've been able to pull within 7, within 6 here in the second half, but no closer. Let's see if ETSU can respond on this offensive set.
Right side, Ladarius Brewer, pull-up jump shot, ice water. Did it in the first half to get the Buccaneers going. Does it here to kind of stem the tide a bit. Good-looking jump shot from the right side, Ladarius Brewer. He's got 16. Now a foul on the floor left side. Should be free throws no matter what. Is the 7th foul now on ETSU after the double technicals.
Going to tag Weber with that personal foul, the sophomore out of Owings, Maryland. And now Baycoat will step back to the free throw line.
And Baycoat 3 of 4 at the stripe tonight. 1 and 1 will get the bonus. 76-68. Much different game than what we saw up in Johnson City, and Justin Gray happy about that, as it was a big run by ETSU. Gray in his first year after being down at Winthrop as an assistant coach. Brief stint, made the trip down to Charleston, at least with Pat Kelsey when he took the College of Charleston job. 7-point game here, under 4 to go. Gilmore on Seymour. Lob inside, Brewer can't handle it, Catamounts can't connect. As fall away jump shot again, Ladarius Brewer. Started the game hot, he's finishing it the same way.
Yeah, he likes that mid-range jumper, especially from that spot on the floor. And now Baycoat again will try to answer with a 3, and here's a big bucket. They'll pull the Catamounts within 6.
2-possession game on a couple of three-pointers at 78-72. Dean Keener, in his article about the conference that he does for SoConSports.com, said that Western Carolina is going to be a tough out at home. And how about this? An offensive foul on Ty Brewer away from the basketball. Pushing through. And that'll be his 3rd personal. And Catamounts will have the basketball, trailing by just 2 possessions. 6-point Buccaneer lead. We go down the stretch. 3:11 to play here from the Ramsey Center. This one has just about seen it all. 2 players closing in on 30 points. 6-point ball game. We saw a marriage proposal early in the second half. Maybe have a plate of snickerdoodles to finish this thing off. What do you say? 6-point ball game, 78-72 with 3:11 to go.
By the way, she said yes.
Yeah, she did say yes. That's a good point. The lucky thing it's Ben Page, who actually works in the ticket office at Western Carolina, did it tonight because he's an ETSU graduate working in Cullowhee. So a nice little tie-in. Wanted to do it at the ETSU Western Carolina basketball game. How about that? So congratulations to the newly engaged couple. Catamounts with Nicholas Robinson. Thought about launching the three. Banks will. Left side triple on the way. Back rim, no good. Gilmore tips it to Robinson, who lets the guy fly by. Brewer does just that, and it's a 4-point game here. Under 3 to go in Cullowhee.
As close as the Catamounts have been since beyond the 10-minute mark in the opening half. So let's see if Western Carolina's defense can continue to help their rally here as the minutes are ticking away. Just over 2.5 to go in Cullowhee.
Double ball screens trying to get King free. Back over to Brewer. Lob to Seymour. A lot of contact. He tries to finish on the rim. Can't get it to go. That one rolls around. And I think a foul's going to be called on ETSU on Ty Brewer, which will be his 4th personal.
Yeah, a lot of battling going on for that rebound down low. The foul could have really gone either way, but Catamounts will take advantage of the whistle. And at the free throw line now, Daniel, a chance to get this to a 1-possession game here.
So Cam Baycoat back to the free throw line. He has quietly got 19 points, Jeff. He's knocked down 5 free throws. The 1-and-1 will get the bonus. And don't look now, but it's a 1-possession game with 2:21 to go here from the Ramsey Center. Catamounts outscoring the Buccaneers by 9 thus far here in the second half. But you get the feeling that it might be Jordan King time at the other end.
Yeah, the Buccaneers have led by as many as 14 here in the second half, but now we've got a 2-point game in Cullowhee with just over 2 minutes to go.
David Sloan against Marcus Banks. Jordan King gets to the midline. The floater off the back of the rim won't go. Good rebound by Seymour. Kept it alive, and he'll be fouled. What an offensive rebound by Jaden Seymour. Went for 10 points, 6 boards in the first meeting. Big rebound there. His 8th rebound of the night. Comes on the offensive glass, and now he goes to the free throw line to try to stretch this lead back out to make it a 2-possession game.
Seymour, a 72% free throw shooter on the season. Pretty solid for a big man out of Charlotte, North Carolina.
Yeah, former Shocker out of Wichita State to transfer. Will get the bonus free throw. 8 fouls on Western Carolina, still 1 to give. Next foul on ETSU will be 2 free throws as they have 9 team fouls here in the ballgame. Still a 1-possession game at 79-76, and it'll stay that way as the second free throw off the back of the rim. Robinson kicks it to the corner. Banks looking for the tie, and it is 79-79 here in Cullowhee.
First tie of the game. This was going down to the wire in the Ramsey Center tonight.
Timeout ETSU. Western Carolina has stormed back after trailing by double digits most of this game. ETSU has had their number, just like they did in Johnson City.
3 out of the corner shot by Banks to tie the game. There's still a lot of time remaining. 1:49 left on the clock here in regulation.
ETSU has the preeminent home court advantage at Freedom Hall. Catamounts trying to make this one a tough environment tonight on a rainy night in Cullowhee. They've rallied back to tie it at 79. 1:49 to go. Next foul on Western Carolina will be 1-and-1 with 1 to give. Next foul on the Buccaneers, 2 free throws for Western Carolina. Ladarius Brewer set to trigger the inbounds. Just gets it into Seymour. Ladarius Brewer's been the go-to guy here in the second half. Trying to break down Tyler Harris. Comes off a ball screen. With 12 on the shot clock, it will not fall. Got a pretty good look at it from the left low block. Couldn't get it to fall.
And Western Carolina's lost 14 straight regular season games to the Buccaneers. They've never led tonight here in Cullowhee.
Nicholas Robinson has 29 points, a career high, looking for 31. Can't get it to go. Seymour, another big rebound. Seymour with 9 boards tonight. Got plenty of options on the floor. Ladarius and Ty Brewer, David Sloan, Jordan King, all outstanding offensive options here. 10 seconds on the shot clock. It's going to be Sloan. Dribble drive down the lane. Throws it up. Can't get it to go. I think he was looking for the lob. Looked like Brewer was coming in from the side.
Yeah, some miscommunication, but Nonetheless, Western Carolina very quick to pick up the loose ball. And now again, the Catamounts will have a chance to take their first lead of the game.
Back home to the aforementioned Freedom Hall, a very tough place to go in. Rabid fan base up in Johnson City. They've got Furman, who is trying to keep pace with the Chattanooga Mocs for first place, and then Sanford comes to town. Bulldogs playing much better as of late. But a good look at the schedule for ETSU. But this one, 43.2 remaining, 23 seconds remaining on the shot clock of this possession for the Catamounts. 79-79. Western Carolina has not led here tonight. High ball screen, Robinson. Runner down the right rail, got it to go. First lead of the night, 81-79 Western Carolina.
Boy, Robinson's been Mr. Everything tonight. He was our choice for the impact player, and he has delivered tonight for the Catamounts, giving WCU their first lead of the game.
About 3 seconds difference, shot clock, game clock. David Sloan trying to answer. Floater down the lane, won't roll in. Marlo Gilmore with a huge rebound. 12 seconds. Buccaneers trying to get a foul. They didn't want to foul Cam Baycoat, who has been Johnny on the spot at the free throw line tonight. Baycoat, 7 of 8 at the line. He's had 7 of the Catamounts' 9 made free throws. Robinson, who's got a career-high 31 points, 11 rebounds, double-double effort. A chance to stretch the lead out to 3. Should be 2 free throws here for Robinson. Building falls quiet, 78%. First free throw, good. 1 more to go with 10.9 remaining. If you're ETSU, regardless of this, get up the floor and get a quick bucket. Second free throw by Robinson. That one's good. 83-79, timeout on the floor. As a 30-second timeout taken here by Western Carolina.
29 lead over Chattanooga.
Yeah, so Sanford trying to knock off Chattanooga, give them just their second loss in the last 47 days. And if Sanford gets the win there, again, that's a team that's in the bottom half of the conference against Chattanooga, who's in the top of the conference. And here ETSU with 10.9, trailing 83-79. Catamounts have outscored the Buccaneers 49-32 here in the second half. Sloan gets it. It's going to try to race up the floor. Got to go quickly. King, long three-pointer. That one's good. Holy cow, he shot that one from Sam's Gap.
I'll tell you, would you expect anything else the way Kings played tonight?
Absolutely not. Exciting tournament. I mean, you talk about teams that are battling and scrapping and clawing for positioning here. Again, the only loss for the league leader is against a team right now that coming into play tonight occupied last place. But it's a Western Carolina squad that has shown at times that it can play like it is tonight, overcoming a big deficit, an uphill battle against a team that has quite honestly owned them. 31 of the last 32. I mean, ETSU, again,
a long drought.
Again, there's 10 years. Catamounts,
if they win.
Yeah, the Catamounts have not won over ETSU in Cullowhee since 1998. Entry pass comes to Robinson. He's going to be fouled immediately by Ladarius Brewer.
It's hard to believe that's 1 month from tomorrow that the SoCon tournament begins.
Yeah.
The granddaddy of them all as far as postseason tournaments.
Women's tournament gets started on Thursday. Men's play will start on Friday. Championship for the women's on Sunday. Men's championship on Monday evening. Nationally televised game. Free throws again here from Robinson. Knocks it down. Trying to get this thing back to a 3-point game. We just saw Jordan King knock one down from halfway home.
Yeah, when the ball is inbounded, King is in range.
He walks in the gym, and he's in range.
3-point shot.
At least tonight he's been 10 of 15, including 7 of 10 from beyond the arc. Buccaneers with 15 made three-pointers. Catamounts with 16. And this will make it a 3-point game if he can knock down this free throw. And well, so with 3.9, it's a 3-point game. Another timeout here by ETSU, and first-year head coach Desmond Oliver wants to talk it over. So it will be just a 30-second.
Darius Brewer poured in 18 for the Buccaneers tonight. Other double-digit scores, Marcus Banks has 15 for Western Carolina, and David Sloan has chipped in 13. A lot of that after halftime for ETSU.
I want to say that ETSU is out of timeouts. Western Carolina still has one, but with 3.9, running out of opportunities to use it. We're going to see if they might call a timeout after they see the alignment that ETSU comes out in.
Boy, if you're Western Carolina, you got to be careful not to foul King here if he tries a three.
Now they're going to get, well, smart play.
That is smart.
They do get the foul, but only 0.8 seconds ran off the clock. You'd like to get them, let them get a couple more steps and then foul before they have a chance to get across the midcourt stripe, run a little bit more time off.
Plus the countermouts not yet putting ETSU in that double bonus situation, so this will be a 1-and-1 here.
And they fouled Ty Brewer, who is 76% free throw shooter.
One of the better games of the year in the SoCon right here in Cullowhee tonight. Let's see what happens here as Ty Brewer stands at the free throw line. First one up and good. He's the younger of the two Brewer brothers. He's the junior, and the older brother, Ladarius, of course, the graduate player this year on the Buccaneers squad.
And 3.1 remaining, still time for ETSU. They're back within two. Looking for an offensive rebound tip here. No, they'll take the free throw made. Catamounts now will have to inbounds, and now it's glad they held on to that one timeout just in case. Baycoat looking to inbounds.
Got to be careful here.
They got it into Nicholas Robinson, and again, this has been the longest 3.9 seconds in history for the home faithful for Western Carolina. Buccaneers are doing a great job of lengthening this game here. Foul called on Jordan King, which will be his fourth personal. And Robinson will go back to the free throw line. He's got 35 points, 11 rebounds. But big free throws here. We'll have two of them.
Again, he transferred in from Valpo prior to the season. And what a find for this Catamount program. The free throw good, and Western Carolina extends that lead back up to two. Be interesting to see if the Catamounts convert the free throw here, Daniel, if they go back to the strategy of immediately fouling the Buccaneers.
Now, next foul will be two shots, because there are 9 fouls on Western Carolina, so they use the one to give. Another free throw by Robinson is good. 87-84 Robinson trying to seal it from the line. Baycoat in the hip pocket. Everywhere Jordan King goes, he's trying to follow. King gets it in the backcourt. Long heave all the way up the floor. Not going to make it. And Western Carolina, for the first time since 1998, will knock off ETSU here in the Ramsey Center, halting a 14-game slide in the series, a 14-game home losing skid against the Buccaneers. What a big win for Western Carolina to rally from down 13 at halftime to pull off the three-point win. 87-84 the final.
Yeah, it was a big clutch three-pointer by Marcus Banks that really was the needed basket that the Catamounts finally got over the hump to tie the game at 79. But you think back how much offense we had after that point. This game, you talked about how long the final 3 seconds were. How long was the final minute of this game? These two teams